Okay, so here we're going to make a hexagon box using our auto layout and laser joint features. So we're going to start by making a sketch. We're going to use this Polygon tool. Actually, sorry, before we make the sketch, gotta get our variable. We'll call it our thickness variable, right? And actually, for this thing, what we'll do is we'll make another variable. So 3.23, unless otherwise. That will be the number of sides. So we're going to change it to number. It'll be sides. And we'll start with 6, but we'll be able to change this later. Okay? And now let's create our sketch. Okay? And we're going to draw, let's see, an inscribed polygon. Okay? Something like that. And so here where it says 6 times, I'm going to change that to be the number of sides. Okay? It's not going to let me do that. That's too bad. I guess you can't add a variable number of sides, so we're not going to do that then. It would have been fun, but... So ours will be a hexagon. So anyway, we can set the length of it, or the width of it. We'll set this to be maybe 120 millimeters. Okay. And we'll extrude this. This will be our base. We'll extrude it to a thickness. Well, we'll extrude to the thickness, right? And so now we've got that piece. Okay. So now we're going to make the edges. And so for this, we're going to make a sketch on the bottom face here. And we're just going to actually make one edge. So we're just going to draw a rectangle here. We're going to kind of snap it to the sides. And we'll set the thickness. Okay. And so now we can extrude. Okay, make sure we select new. And make sure it's going through the base. We'll say height is 75. Okay. And so we have our one part. And what we're going to do is, we're going to do a, you know what, we need to add another sketch. So let's make another sketch on the right plane. That's just going up the middle. We're going to make a line here. This is going to be our axis of rotation. Okay. Or our pattern axis. So we're going to do a, we're going to click on our pattern option. We're going to choose circular pattern. We're going to choose this part. For this axis, we're going to choose this line. And then the instance will be the number of sides. Okay? And so now we've created our pattern. Looks pretty good. And now we'll go ahead and add a top to this box. So make a new sketch on one of these top edges. And we're going to make another polygon here. Just like that. Okay. And then we're going to extrude. It's going to be new. It's going to be equal to the thickness. And it's going to go into the box so it overlaps like that. Okay. And so now we've got all of our parts. We'll go ahead and add the laser joint feature. Okay, we'll go to automatic and we'll select all these parts. Okay, and so it's giving us a note that's saying like created some like kind of small and disconnected parts that were deleted. That's fine, that happens. 8765, looks like we got everything and we're good to go. So there's our box. We can take a peek without the lid on. And so you can see the corners get a little bit weird, and if you wanted to, you could kind of overshoot on the corners. So if we wanted to change this, we could come back to sketch 2, and we could change it so that the these edges, get these, let's see, constraints. Let me show constraints. Okay. So we'll delete this one. and then this one. Okay, so what we can do is we can snap these guys to this edge. And then this to down here, like this. And so what I've done is, so I've brought it out where this corner of the rectangle lines up with this edge, and so you can see these corners stick out a little bit. And so when we do this, it's going to change the look of the box just a little bit, because you'll see these corners are kind of sticking out like that. Okay, and so it just going to change it a little bit. You can see you have corners sticking out in this version. If we undo that, then the corners aren't sticking out. They're kind of like brought in like that. So it's really depends on, you know, one of those things like how you like it or what you would prefer, something in this case. But now it's finished, right? We've got all of our parts done. At this point, we can go ahead and we can do auto layout. We can set our thickness here, and we'll set it to 1,000, and we can set the spacing to 2 or something. Okay, so we got all of our parts here. We can bring it into carry mode and export it. Now we've made a hexagon box.